So these children can't keep eating. Poor people still grieving. While dying, no season. Still passing, no weaving. But they say I'm weak cause I don't even really like to play the game. These evils swept back with liquor and fame. We sin, they missed our aim. Got so high, I was low. Liquor had me moving slow. Hollow like a chocolate Easter bunny with no soul. Tasty crash, done me getting money. Reaching through a hole in the wall to snatch strings. Put you on the team, now you a god in a machine. Cause once the black is light, then they both the same thing. I ride the bench for the new tribe. The whole ones that got nothing to hide. We dark at the bottom of the sea. Still connected to that water I just poured in my tea. Not a slave to the matrix. I don't know, I feel like I should put I'ma look behind this curtain and see life path numbers 4 and 3. 7 going on 8 shaped like infinity, cause I'm infinitely tapping into my divinity like a trinity, both physically and spiritually. Nothing can hinder this. Let's see what I can put on my hair to make it not be getting all in my face. About to come true to Mocha now. They barely in there. I don't want to pull on them too hard. They won't be in here. Yeah. So I'm gonna do some stretching before I start this video. And I want to get more into like a meditative practice. And I don't know if I'm always gonna feel like doing it publicly because y'all are not really used to seeing meditation. um, we just have, so many of the beings in this generation, we have like a really short attention span. And we really think that it's always something more important we could be doing when we got to spend time together with each other anyway. You know, we all, navigating this ball of water and dirt, so I'm learning how to just be together is important. Life have us to where we just all in such a hurry to basically end up back in the same space. Because when you leave your house, you still got to come home. Eventually, you got to come home. That's gonna go over a lot of people's head. That is why I agree that this channel is not for kids. You know, I used to get in my feelings about having to press that button, that not for kids button. But then I realized something that I remembered all along is that kids and offspring, kids and children are not really the same thing. Kids are beings who are being reared solely to navigate this plantation. They in the game 100%. They here for it. Assimilation is the game. Becoming the oppressor is the game. learning how to be the oppressor and not the oppressed. That's the game that our kids, that the kids are being groomed for. And so when you have people on the internet who are beings or entities on the internet who are being whole, who are being vulnerable, who are sharing in a way that causes for a deeper conversation to be had by the whole family. And a lot of family units don't have the time in the day, you know what I'm saying, to facilitate these type of conversations with their kids, because they got to work. They got to be in a hurry because um, communication, it does not need to be expressed. Um, you just need to know how to work. You need to know how to go and get it. You need to know how to grind. You need to know how to hustle. You have skill. You feel me? Like, we're gonna shelter you from everything. So, we trying to pass these laws. We trying to pass these laws and get these people in office that, gonna help us to eradicate these undesirables. Like they trying to do the rats in New York. We gonna get somebody elected who gonna help us mitigate these undesirables. Who gonna help us to weed out the ones who are hazardous to the foundation we trying to set in place for this nation. Breathing, stretching. It feels so good. Like, and I don't do it enough. I don't. Like, I really, honestly, myself, I be in a hurry so much. And I feel it a lot lately because my breath, um, like I'm in this time in my life where the it be on me thick, you know. People's the people around me, I can feel their pain, I can feel their fear, I could feel their uncertainty, I could feel their hopelessness. Like I could feel joy, I could feel happiness, I could feel positive things from people, but it's so it's such a low level. Like when you go out into the world and you're navigating around people, their joy level, their peace level, their happy, their vibrations is so low. Like the majority of people are not happy, and you can feel this when you're out in the world. You could feel a lot of people are not happy. And that it's like it could feel like it's sitting on you, when you're an empathic person. And so um, it's very important to take care of yourself because we don't realize that there's there's ramifications for the things that we entertain, uh, because it goes into our psyche, and it starts sending messages about what we want around us, what we want our world to look like. And so we're thinking we're just entertaining ourselves with this content, but really we're sending signals to our subconscious saying, this is how I want the world to be around me. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to experience. So what we consume, because if I'm watching a video, anything I'm watching, if I'm watching a video, reading a story, holding a conversation, everything is communion. Communion ain't just what you put in your stomach. It ain't just what you put in your lungs. It is everything. Even what you consume, what you have to use this to chew. Because when someone's talking to you, you're chewing with your brain. You're eating it with your brain because your brain is processing it. Your brain is breaking it down. Your brain is understanding it. So everything that we put into our psyche via watching, listening, hearing, experiencing, it is a communion. And a lot of us think just because we hear the word Jesus a couple of times, or we hear a safe word, like, for some of us, a safe word is the police. Oh, because they could never hurt anybody. The safe word is your senator, your mayor. These people could never hurt anybody. Your doctor, they could never hurt it. These are safe words, But then when we hear, thug or prostitute, or we hear addict, these are words we automatically gotta watch them, you know. But really, it's a case by case. It's a case by case. Now, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people fall right into the stereotype. A lot of people, they fall right into the script. And my channel and my art, my storytelling, is not for people who fall right into the script. So when they say the not for kids button on here, they right, because this ain't for kids. Because that's a very specific label given to a very specific group of beings who are being groomed. And I am not against you sheltering your kids from my form of storytelling. Because if you share my content with your kids, then that means you have to also have conversations with your kids. And maybe some of you aren't equipped to explain my being, my purpose, my intentions. And that does not lie with me. That lies with you. So I don't think that any being who is a child should be consuming my testimony or my stories without a village around them, without community around them who can help them to eat, to process, to understand. Yeah. Yeah, because I can't physically be there to talk to him. But I chose a picture of my godson or my god goddess son from years ago. because he's like 22, 23 now. I chose a picture of me and him together to say that just because my content is not for kids, it does not mean that I am not fit to be around kids, children, offspring. There's a difference. My testimony, the things that I share, they aren't for you to process, or you don't have to process it if you choose not to. But that doesn't mean that I'm unfit to be around offspring, children, my younger ancestors altogether. No, so let's not conflate the two. I'm gonna respect this YouTube house. I'm just at an Airbnb. I be coming here, you know what I'm saying? I be camping out on YouTube. Like literally, I'm camping out here, but this YouTube shit. This their house. You got the respectful rules when you in their house. I wanna play this again though, because I like this song. And I wanna break it down for y'all. Then it happens all over again. So move with self-control and discipline. I do not stretch enough. I'm trying to get more into this because it do feel good. Let me tell you about the birds and the bees. I wish I could do a push-up, but not right now. You know, you got to do stuff with these knees when you get older, because these knees start getting creaky and popping and making noise. So I be trying to work with these knees, honey, because they be popping and creaking. And you know what they say, you don't use it, you lose it. That feels good. Oh, God. Trying to stretch this way. Oh, I feel that. I feel that up in here. Oh, I feel that. Oh, that shit hurt. Wait, let me try again. Oh, oh, I feel that. Oh, that's tight. Ooh. Oh, shit, I felt that. Ooh, that was tight. When you get old, stretching is so important. People, when they tell you that you need to stretch, when people say you need to stretch, that's so. When you get older, stretching is like And you know, I've started writing a lot. Like I've been writing so much. I got so many stories that I'm ready to like push out, that I'm ready to birth. You know, I'm excited about them. Like I I did my book, and now it's like I'm ready to do like plays and shows. You know, like I really have like this burning desire to do theater, to but I want to write, I want to direct, and I want to do small roles like down by the river just to wash my griefs away. So you wanna fight me? Cause this nigga like me. He say he wanna wife me. Now you acting spicy. Doing it just to spite me. Sis, I just wanna stipend. I ain't trying to be stifled. Let's squash the beef. Ain't no need for that rifle. I'm not about to stand idle. When I hit you with this rap, you gon' think I'm from the Bible. Yeah. I had to go down by the river just to wash my grief away. I forgot I did that. I be doing shit and I be forgetting I did it. But yeah, so Reddy says stop, begin, up, down, lose, win, enemy, friend. Then it happens all over again. That is so powerful. Like that stuff right there. Like it's a people are not gonna get it for a long time, and sometimes I be a little fucked up about the fact that that's my gift. Is like putting stuff out that people, could vibe. Because if a cisgender person or if a person who was not trans had made that same song, a known heterosexual person who was born in a body that, they had no issues with, the numbers that would have did, especially if it would have been a Caucasian being that would have said those same things. Like, listen to the words. Like, wait, let's recite this. Let's recite this. Stop beginning up, down, lose, win, enemy, friend. Then it happens all over again. So move with self-control and discipline, because life is a roller. Be ready for the game. Seasons change, but something stay the same. Wait, hold on. I said seasons change, but something stay the same. Seasons change, but something stay the same. Where's the lie? Life is a roller coaster. Be ready for the game. Seasons change, but something stays the same. Still rooted like a tree. Fake friends fall like leaves. Mama coming through with the machete for the weeds. Getting the ground ready, cause we planting seeds. Let me tell you about the birds and the beasts. This that love story, that struggle story. Our ancestors been getting glory. Running metaphors and allegories. Respect for everything that come before me. Some of us keep leaving. They over here. Then they over here thieving. So these children can't keep eating. Poor people still grieving. Raw diet, no season. Still passing, no weaving. But they say I'm weak cause I don't even really like to play the game. To live is evil, spelled backwards, met a killer named Fame. We sinned and missed our aim, got so high I was low. Liquor had me moving slow, hollow like a chocolate Easter bunny with no soul. Getting money, reaching through a hole in the wall to snatch dreams. Put you on the team, now use the cog in the machine. Black lightning keeps the whiteness supreme. Cause once the black is light and then they both the same thing. I ride the bench for the new tribe. The whole ones they got nothing to hide. We dark as the bottom of the sea, still connected to the water. I just poured in my tea. They gon' show us how to thrive, problem solve and evolve. That's a lot of meat. That's a lot of meat. That's a lot of meat. We cooking, we cooking, and I ain't even halfway through the song. We cooking. I'm at 4. I got 4 minutes and 29 seconds. I done said all that in 2 minutes and 5 seconds. I done said all of that. Reaching through a hole in the wall to snatch dreams. Put you on the team, now use a cog in the machine. Black lightning keeps the whitening supreme. Cause once the black is lightened, then they both the same thing. And that was a play off the song, the TV show Black Lightning, which was about this black man working for the justice system, and he was a vigilante and he was fighting to protect black people, but still as a part of America. So he was fighting for patriarchy, he was fighting for colonization, but it made it special because he was doing it specifically. It was dedicated to black people, but black people who were, assimilating into white culture and patriarchy and colonialism. So black lightning keeps the whitening supreme. Because once the black is lightened, then they both the same thing. Then I said, I ride the bench for the new tribe, the whole ones that got nothing to hide. See, this is why my channel is not for kids. Because I've rolled the bench for the new tribe. This is why I didn't use my youth to get out there, because when I came into who I am, that was about 7 years ago. I'm getting ready to be 47. And, I ain't trying to brag, but I don't look 40. I don't look like I'm about to turn 47. I don't look like I'm in my 20s either. But I damn sure don't look like I'm 47. We're gonna give me a little bit more credit than that. I can still pass for them 30s. I can still lie and say I'm in my 30s. But yeah, I'm 3 years away from 50. Like I'm knocking on 50. And considering everything that I've been through, I don't look like what I've been through. And that's a blessing. So I'm thankful for all the scars, the bumps, the cracks, the nooks, the crannies, because I done seen some shit. I done been involved in some stuff. And so I said, I ride the bench for the new tribe. And I took a season of my life where I just focused on exploring and growing as an artist. Yay, thank you. Yeah, so like I'm just like I could have used my youth if I would have ran with the Jesus narrative, and I would have already been set up. I would have already been set up, you know. But the thing about me is there's a part of me that wants to live off the grid, that want to just go back to nature, and just not be bothered with anything in this matrix. And there's another part of me that wants to tell stories at a mainstream capacity, and I think that that's the war, or that's the battle, for balance that exists within me. There's a being, there's a side of me, there's a side of my DNA that don't give a fuck about none of this. Is happy outside, meditating, sitting on some grass, dancing in the rain, walking in nature. There's a side of me that's that. And then there's another side of me that wants to wear the grand garments and create and perform and do shows and tell art and just be invested in all the bullshit. And so that's an internal battle that goes on with me. And I think both sides of me are necessary. I think both sides of me are necessary. I love both sides of me because the side of me that loves to be outside, that likes to be in the sun, that likes to lay out in the grass, that likes to be by water, that don't care nothing about no cell phone, that don't care nothing about no paperwork, no email, don't care nothing about no group, no Zoom. That part of me takes care of the part of me that wants to do all of this other shit, that wants to do the videos, that wants to write and tell stories and shape consciousness and be a part of civilization. Like, that part of me says every now and then, hey, girl, okay, okay, you're doing a bit much. How many times you done went live, sis? How much shit you done sit around and watched on TV today? You feeling it? You feeling your body feeling a little wonky? You feeling a little off? You feeling a little disorientated? You starting to feel a little? Your anxiety kicking in? Huh? You starting to feel a little anxious? That's because you ain't took a breath yet. That's because you're doing too much. So I'm thankful for that side of me that to other people it looks like she's all over the place. She's not consistent. Like, she'll start something and then she won't finish it. And it's because of the way that I was designed. I like to take on multiple things at a time. I like to do multiple things at a time, and I end up giving too much of myself really quickly. And so that other side of me has to come in and say, uh-uh, no, go over here, time out, self-care, shut down. If they don't understand it, fuck them. They just want to see you expire. They don't care about you. Go over here and take care of yourself. Stop worrying about entertaining and giving yourself to this, because guess what? This gonna operate when you gone. They gonna be doing what they doing when you gone. So why is you doing all that? Go over there and take care of you. So that when you do share, so that when that other side of you does have to come out and does want to write and does want to story tell, you're telling stories from a holistic place. Because I look at a lot of the content that I see on TV and it entertains me, but it doesn't feed my soul. Like, I'm amused, I'm entertained, but am I fed? Did it feed my soul? It's just like fast food. I ate, but was I nourished? I ate, but did it nourish me? Did I get life from it? After I had that meal, was I functioning at a different capacity? Did I have more life in me? Did I have more energy? Did I have more gumption? Was I more was I maneuvering with more vitality and vibrance? Mm, I And that's how a lot of the content that is being pushed on us. That's what it is. You was entertained. You don't remember a lot. We don't remember a lot of the things that we consume. It was momentarily entertaining and we don't even remember it. It's just like when you go, if you've had one Big Mac, you've had 1,000. They taste the same every damn time. If you've had one double cheeseburger with fries, you've had 1,000. If you've had one Coca-Cola, but this is the gag. You ain't gonna never taste Coca-Cola and say, oh, that Coca-Cola tasted different. Now, if you ain't had Coca-Cola in a long time, then yeah. But literally with water, you could try different kinds of water and sometimes it'll taste clearer, sometimes it'll taste fresher. It just like water, for it to be tasteless, it just hit different. You know when it's some good ass water because you feel really refreshed, you feel rejuvenated, and the taste, like how it goes down. You know, you taste some water and you could taste the chemicals that they put up in that shit. But Coca-Cola and Pepsi, all that shit always tastes the same. Only way you gonna get a different taste is if maybe if it's flat, maybe if it went flat, or maybe if you haven't drank it in a long time and then it'll burn your throat again. But if you drink it regularly, it's not gonna burn your throat, you know. But I find that odd. Like when you go a long time without drinking acidic drinks, they really like burn a little bit when you be drinking them. Like, but when you start drinking them regularly, they don't burn anymore. And yeah, but like I said, I wanna with the things that I consume, whether I'm eating them or whether I'm eating them with this, I want to be fed by it. I want to be nurtured by it. You know, I want it to, and you can't make other people want that. You can't make people want that for themselves. You know, we are all here to have our own experience. We are all here to do what makes us feel good, you know, and to live our best life, whatever that looks like. And so, um, I'm not fixing to sit up here and put other people down because they ain't where I'm at, you know. I think that I try to share where I'm at, you know, so that I could connect with people, you know, for different reasons, you know, so that we could build together, so that we could support one another, so that I could document this, so that, you know, you could know that if you are experiencing this or something similar, then, you know, you could know you're not alone, you know. So that's why I document a lot, you know. I love a receipt. You know, I love a receipt. But I really, I think I'm being called to, I think it's becoming more difficult to balance, like, speaking on mainstream, doing my spiritual stuff, and creating and taking time for me and supporting the people around me, because I do all of those things. Showing up for the people around me. And so, um, I don't know, sometimes I think people think that speaking on other people is interjecting yourself into their problems. But if it's coming up on my timeline, or if I got to hear about it, how is it interjecting myself? I wouldn't know about it if they didn't make it available for me to speak on. So, how can you interject yourself in something that was made public? Like, this is literally a public conversation. So, like, this notion of interjecting yourself into a public conversation. Like, we live in a society that's really, really, thanks to the internet, is quite public. And so, if I have to um, hear about it, if it has to somehow make it into my sphere because of relationships that I have with others that I'm in communion with, if I have to hear about this is impacting my sphere. Now, I could not give it any more life. I could allow it to wither on the vine and not speak about it. And I think that that's where I'm being called to. But if I'm being honest, that's not where I am right now. So I have to be truthful about where I am right now. I'm still in that season of, if it's coming into my sphere, if I have to hear about it, if it's, if it's impacting me, then I'm gonna speak on it. And I'm asking the ancestors um to give me more peace when it comes to feeling the need to address things. But I think that's the mother in me. Like, that's my maternal energy. Because even though I'm good, even though it's not really, ruffling no feathers on me, I know that we have so many susceptible beings who are not kids, but they're vulnerable to the hustle. And I know they exist because I was them. Like, I don't regret my life. I don't regret how my life has panned out. I don't regret my choices. But it would have been nice to have someone like me that I could have had access to. And I would like to think that I would not have taken them for granted. I would like to think that I would have loved them and celebrated them, because this is how I am with my elders. Like, um, my first trans mama was a girl named Precious. If I'm being honest, I think it was this girl in Bogalusa. Her name was Miss Alex. She was like a mother figure to me, but I called her my big sister. So I had my biological mother, but I went to live with my grandmother. I spent a lot of time with my great grandmothers before they passed away. My great grandmother on my mother's side, and my great grandmother on my grandfather's side. I spent a lot of time with older women when I was little. Um, I mean, like in their 70s, and this was before I was in my teens. So, I had a lot of that maternal energy. I was being taught by the old women. I had the old mothers that were around me. My mother had me until I was 5. I went to go and live with my grandmother when I turned 6. And 6, 7, um, wait, 6, 7, I had my 6, 7, 8, I think. I had my great grandmother on both sides. And then until I was, I want to say, about 11 or 12, I had my other great grandmother, and I was very close with her. So I had my grandmother and my great grandmother on my grandfather's side, and I was super close with her, and she was very religious. Oh, she was very much, baby. She had a Bible open on the table. She used to watch TBN every day, and you couldn't set nothing on top of that Bible, and her house was immaculate. And we used to eat stuff like cow tongue and tripe. And baby, that woman was 70 years old and could still get outside and mow the yard. My great grandmother on my grandfather's side was something. And my great grandmother on my mama's side, before she passed, she was powerful. Oh, she was powerful, honey. Baby, when she passed away, she had a garden, and she had a plum tree, she had a peach tree, she had a fig tree, she had a pecan tree, she had a honeysuckle bush, and she had a rose bush, and they all grew in the yard. She had one of every tree in the yard, and when she died, none of the trees would bear fruit. Everything died. When she passed away, all of the trees stopped bearing fruit. Every last one of them. And that's how I know we got some blood. It's something in the blood. Baby, when that woman left, the trees said, we done here. But as long as she was alive, as long as she had a heartbeat in her chest, long as she was rocking on that porch, and I never forget, before she passed away, she told us what God looked like, because she saw God. And me and my cousin Lady, we were sitting on the porch, because I think she had Caucasian in her. Um, but we knew that her great grandmother, I think, was full blood Cherokee, or was Cherokee. But they were dark, like they were really dark, and they had like this bushy curly hair. But she was very fair skinned, not as light as Lena Horne, but she was very fair skinned, and she had like that the kind of hair that grew all downhill, and it was long, and we called her Muddill. Her name was Lucille Bristol. But she told us that God had hair like a rainbow and eyes like fire. I never forget that. She said God had hair like a rainbow and eyes like fire. I'll never forget that. We was greasing and parting her hair. She was in her 80s, and we was sitting on the porch, and we was sectioning her hair, and we was greasing and parting her hair. And we were young. We were like in middle school, and we were playing in our great grandmother hair. It was my cousin grandmother, because my cousin Lady, was her mama was my grandmother's sister. So it was her grandmother and my great grandmother. So we were second cousins. But we was both around the same age. I think I might be 1 year older than her, or 6 months older than her, or something like that. But we was both, playing in my grandmother's hair, and playing in my great grandmother's hair. And she told us what God looked like. And that was one of the last, I think that was like the last conversation that I ever had with her, because she passed soon after that. And but I never forget that experience. I never forget that story. I remember when I was little, it was such a magical time. Like, even then, I could feel the world around me. I was very aware of a lot of things. And I used to have visions all the time. And I think that my visions and um and this world kind of bled together, because when I get when I get deja vu about my childhood, some of the things, because I remember like supernatural experiences, and I always have to ask myself. I used to I used to get deja vu all the time of me elevating off the ground and like running. I'll start running, and as I would run, I would start to float, and like I literally just be moving for long periods of time, and I would be floating, like, and I was able to do this in a way where I could be over people and people wouldn't even see me moving past them. And I would have these visions so often, I started to question if it really happened or not. Like like time was bleeding together. Like that's why I feel like when you go into that mode where you're astral projecting, or you're not in your body, you don't feel like you're in your body, whether it's a dream, whether you're daydreaming, whatever it is, like you're having this moment where you're here, but you don't feel like you're here in the way that everyone else is here. Like, I know that may not make sense, but it's just honest. Sometimes my visions and my dreams feel realer than this, than me actually sitting. Like, I've literally had dreams and had visions where they felt realer, and there's got to be something to that. Like, literally, this was one of the reasons why I had trouble working a 9 to 5, because my dreams would sometimes take me on such a journey, such a ride, that when it was time for me to go to work, I was tired. I needed to process. I had taken on a lot on the spiritual plane, like on the astral plane. My dreams were so vivid and so clear, and they took me on such a journey. It was like I can't go to work. Like, I can't go and mill through 8 hours after I just had an experience like that. And that is where, that's when you start diagnosing somebody and saying, oh, you know this is mental illness. It's something like we put labels on people, and call them mentally ill, and say something is wrong with them because we don't understand them, because we haven't done the research to understand what's going on with them. And so we label them and we put them in a box marked damage. We put them in a box marked mentally ill. But let me tell you something, and I said this in my story, and I'm going to close with this. I am not, today, I'm no longer going to be ashamed of how my brain works, or being different, or being labeled crazy, or being labeled damaged, or being labeled any of those things that we've tried to, diminish, or put negative connotations on. Because I'd rather be special than act retarded. You know, when we was little, we used to ride the short bus. Well, I never rode the short bus, but I definitely have dated people who've rode the short bus, and I've definitely loved a bunch of people who rode the short bus. And I have more respect for special people than people who try to blend into society and try to be perfect and try to, uphold this lie. To me, that's retarded. So, some of y'all, you should be getting a check on the first, but instead you run in the government. You should be getting the check on the first, but instead you's a mega celebrity. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna ahead and leave that alone. You decided to take your when you could have literally, you could have just wrote to the government and got them to, take away all your student loans, take away all your student debt. If you'd have just went on ahead and admit that your brain worked differently. But no, you had to prove to the world that you wasn't crazy. You had to prove to the world that something was wrong with you, and you went off and became Hitler. You went off and became Jeffrey Dahmer. hmm You went off and became R. Kelly. You went off and became P. Diddy. When you could have just got that check on the first and saved us all a whole lot of hell. Anyway, let me light my candle. I mean, you could have wrote to the government and got them to remove all your student loans. If you'd have just admitted that your brain worked different. And ain't nothing wrong with your brain working different in a society that has been responsible for doing so much. And when we talk about slavery, this is what I understand, is that slavery has impacted all of us. And this is what they're not going to teach us in schools. This is what they're not going to bring home. We holding on to Black history. We're holding on to this idea that, we were treated like chattel, and nowhere in history has people ever been treated worse than the American slaves were treated. But let me ask you a question, because I'm a thinker and I like to think. And I listen to both sides of the conversation. I'm not just going to listen to the Republicans or just listen to the Democrats. I'm going to listen to everybody. Let me ask you a question. What people would leave a country that's treating them well, giving them everything that they want, to come and live in another country where they get smallpox, where they die from how cold the winter is, where they got to fight with the indigenous people, where they got to start all over from scratch? Why would you come to another country and be talking about some give me liberty or give me death, and be fighting with the people where you came from, losing lives? Because when they came over here, it was a fight over here. Britain came over here fighting too. And I think at the end of the day, it was the same thing that happened with Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu and them fought back too. Shaka Zulu and them fought them off too. But at the end of the day, uh, um, 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 they conformed to that Christianity. At the end of the day, they keep their language, keep their tongue, but he still went on here and said, okay, y'all could teach them the Bible. Y'all could teach them Christianity. And I think that's pretty much what happened over here. Um, yeah, y'all might have got the illusion of freedom, but there was still some handshaking and some deals signed. Still happened at the end of the day. And so why would, if they were so comfortable, if they were so happy, and they were just riding around oppressing people, and they was just riding around colonizing people, they was just, like if they got on boats and they were just riding around, Who spends their life on the ocean? I'm sure they didn't have the best supplies, the best food. I'm sure they didn't have the best resources. Who spends their life on the ocean, traveling around, not even sure that they're going to make it to land safely, and goes through all of that? Like, y'all not finna convince me that Caucasian people was over in Europe being treated like silk, living their best life. And then all of a sudden they was over there in Europe living their best life, being treated like silk. And then they came over here to America and they was like, yes, honey, we've been living good. We've been living fab, honey. Now we finna come over here and oppress y'all because we ain't got nothing else to do. No, it was hurt people who had been shitted on. All they knew was shit. All they knew was being treated like garbage. And so it was nothing for them to treat other people like garbage. We just left a country that treated us like trash, that didn't care about us. Like them ones that came over here, they were the lower class. Now, I don't think that all of them were the lower class. I think that, the ones that signed the Constitution, you have to have your gatekeepers. You have to have that. Gatekeepers and overseers aren't just in the black community, they're also in the white community. So you have your ones that you will treat better because you want them to do your dirty work for you. You want them to do the grunt work for you. So you're going to give them a little bit more. You're going to give them the illusion that you care about them. You're going to show them a little bit more favor, give them a little bit more access. Like a good dog, you loyal. Yes, you get a good treat. Yes, you do. You get a good treat. You get a good treat. You good dog. And so there are, the Caucasian people who were treated like that. And those were the Caucasians who carried out. But for the most part, the rest of them, they was peons. They was taken, it's literally in the name, Europeans, like Dan Calloway said. So I don't think that if you came from a country where you was happy and where they was giving you everything that your heart desires and more, you would be willing to come to another country and fight with folk. Like this, there's a backstory in that. And I think that we focus so much on the slavery part, so much on the chattel slavery part. We focus so much on the part that hurt us that we don't play the whole tape. And I think it's critical to play the whole tape because when we play the whole tape, we can understand our Caucasian siblings, our Caucasian counterparts. We can begin to understand. Now, I know that it's going to be a great feat for many of us to make peace. I think that that's going to be a lifelong journey for many of us. But I think that we can get to a place of this is what it was, but this is not what it has to be. And I don't think that there'll ever be a unanimous coming together. Like, I don't think that all of us are ever going to just hold hands and sing kumbaya. It's just not realistic. But I do think that we can create a space in which Caucasian beings, Ebenoid beings, Latinx beings, Asiatic beings, India beings from both sides of the water, Arabic beings, Persian beings, beings of different descents, different origins can come together and exist. And there can be that community, that tribe. All of these other tribes are going to exist and they're going to take up space and create the reality that is befitting for them. And then there can be times where we all come together at the table and we talk and discuss and, decide how we're going to move forward or if we are going to nest in this moment, nest in this season. So I I don't have this utopia idea. I don't think it's even necessary to be that. I think that um, we need to just focus on ourselves, and do the best that we can to heal ourselves and to be loving of ourselves. And then once we do that, I love the way that when I say ourselves, it sounds like ourselves. And Lucy used to say this all the time. She used to say she loved the way that that my words slur together. And this is why I kind of believe Dane Calloway when Dane says that the English language was our native tongue, that we did speak that. Because I can make a lot of words rhyme that you wouldn't think would rhyme. And for me to be able to do that, I think that that's ancestral. Like certain words I don't mess with. And I think that that's because the new words are being manufactured every day. They're twisting up the etymology of things even more. But I think that a lot of the language that was used in the Bible, I think that that was our native tongue, because I wasn't really struggling with the with the Bible, with how the language was written in there. Like some of those big ass words, like the names and stuff, yeah. But not so much a lot of how they spoke. And I could see that being our ancestral tongue. I could definitely see English being our ancestral tongue. So it's something to think about. Anyway, I talked a lot in this video. I've been on here for an hour and 7 minutes, almost an hour and 8 minutes. We've done some stretching and I feel better. Now I'm going to consume some entertainment because I've been spiritually enlightening for about an hour today. I don't know when I'm going to go live again. I really need to be refocusing my energy. But I don't know. I might start doing like these morning live stretch videos. I'm gonna see how I feel. Because it is a way to get me more active. It is a way to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna think about it. But y'all let me know in the comments when y'all come around. Tell me what y'all thought, what you think about the morning stretching and combo. And, yeah. Today was sort of a wake and bake, then let's stretch. But it may not always be a wake and bake. It may just be a stretch and, but today it was a kind of sort of wake and bake. I want to talk about this. I want to be in this moment. I want to share from this space. But yeah. So we are going to acknowledge the ancestors with this candle burning brightly, representing past, present, and future. Um, yes. I am so excited about the song Complex Entity, which has gotten almost 20,000 views. Is that you, Antron? Is that you? Is that you from the spirit world working your mojo? Is that you? And I got over 500 new listeners on Spotify. Is that you, Antron? Is that you? We're getting ready to have a listening party soon for the song Complex Entity. It's gonna be a little small release party. We're celebrating the release of the song, but we really have something to celebrate. I really wish Sydney Starwood here, because like I think she deserve, like, to know that, girl, even though you be pulling some stunts for attention, you know the community love and appreciate you. You are loved. Can't help but love your ass. So your name is mentioned in the song. We give homage to Whitney Houston in the song. We give homage to Brittany Griner, who was released from the prison in Russia. Yeah,
we pay homage to the ballroom scene, using the term sex sirens. It's a beautiful song about being complex, having wholeness, and it was inspired by Antron. So, yeah, the candle it just went out. Yeah, but that was lit in honor of the ancestors who've come, the ancestors who are here, and the ancestors who will come. Thank you, God Goddess. A man, a woman, lay lim, lay lur, as above, so below, as within, so without. All of that is going on. What's going on in mainstream is going on in the microcosm, but pay attention to you, and then you won't get caught up in that. A man, a woman. Love y'all. Have a beautiful day.